Yanks of the Roundtable. Game week 4. This video today, we are predicting, previewing 5 specific matches for game week 4, 5 of the biggest, and then doing quick fire predictions for the remaining 5 at the very end. As usual, I'm joined by Maxi Gaming, joined by Barca Boy 103. We're going to jump into it, man. Before we get there, though, let's check in on how we're doing. We did check on this a little bit before the international break, but let's give the audience a little bit of a reminder. Max made some ground up. This is how we're looking right now, boys. Hafid, of course, as I kind of expected.
I'll take it.
Yes, it's the 500, sitting at 500 at 5-5. Max was 0-5, 2-8. You're climbing back up.
Stop bringing
bro.
up that 0-5, man.
Bro, crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I was close. The week right after that, I went 1-4. So, like, bro, the City game was the only one I got right, as you can see by my fucking record. So, yeah, man.
0-5.
It's hard to do. It's hard to do.
It's hard to do 5-0. That's
but I just did a lot of hot takes that week 1. So like, it was gonna happen.
No, I'm not saying like you're dumb or anything. It's just as hard as going 5-0.
It's hard, yeah. It's hard,
bro. It's hard.
I was really banking on I think Arsenal. Was it? No. What was
no. Who was it?
What was the hot take week 1?
Forget. I think
it was week 2 technically, because week 1 we didn't do predictions. So
week 2. So week 2.
Oh, it was Villa. It was Villa.
Villa.
Yeah. Everyone bet against Arsenal on that one. But it was also a few other ones that just threw wrenches into the mix, bro. Like I said, it was a weird week, and then you climb back up, right before the international break. A lot of season left. It's going to be fun. We'll see how it goes. We'll get Austin's picks for this week as well before the matches actually get here at the weekend. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it. This is how we look as of right now. We'll be keeping track of these all throughout the season. First match that we're previewing for this week and predicting is the early game on Saturday. Southampton taking on Manchester United. I think that the talking point, right, is for this one is how quickly can United bounce back after losing 3-0 right before the international break to Liverpool. Max, we never really talked about that, just from your perspective. We've had a couple of weeks now to kind of digest and form our own opinions on where United goes from here. When that L took place, because I'll be honest, I picked United to win. I think Hafid, did you pick a draw for that game?
She picked a draw.
Yeah. Me and Max both picked 2-1, I believe. How are you feeling now about where you guys are? Is Ten Hag already in the hot seat? I see some creators asking if United's already in crisis mode. I don't think you don't need to react that far.
People are overreacting. I think this game came down to a lot of individual errors that cost the team. And there was a lot of bright moments that happened in this game. Like, I think De Ligt played well. I know a lot of people were questioning, him starting against Liverpool.
I've had a lot of positives recently from like Dutch and like United.
Yeah, he's been getting hammered. I don't know why, but I thought he played really well. Obviously, we know Casemiro had an absolute stinker, probably the worst game of his entire career. Xerxes, I thought Xerxes was okay, wasn't clinical. Believe it or not, I think Rashford was our best attacking player, even though a lot of us thought that he should have been on the bench, but he wasn't. And in my opinion, he was our best attacking player. Although there was one moment where he had the ball 1v1 and turned his back away from the goal. So that is one of the biggest red flags I think I took away from that game. Obviously, Casemiro's errors, but I think that issue with Rashford not taking that player it's literally 1v1, one player, and he beats him. He has a direct line to the goal, and he just didn't take the man on. Like, there's something mentally wrong with Rashford right now. And he's, and this whole international break, he's over here boxing and doing all this.
I'm like, oh my God.
I mean, to each their own, but something has to happen, or your career probably is going to be over at United.
He's got to have been in this summer if he's not like up to scratch this season. I think this is the season we're supposed to be up, right? It's up and down, but now this is the up season, right?
You can't have the season you had last season and trending towards the same season you had last season. Like, it's at some point
they're in a K a week as well.
Yeah, and if he's not the highest paid, I think he is. He's at least top 2.
He is. I think Bruno's new deal takes him close, and then De Gea was.
But I think Casemiro makes the most.
Oh yes, I think you're right. Yeah,
I'm
I think
pretty
it's
sure
like 350 or something like that.
he makes a shit ton of money.
Mhm.
But
And talking about Casemiro really quick, because here's the part I didn't like. Looking at this objectively as a non-United fan or a non-Liverpool fan, is okay. I'll give my opinion in a second. Let me ask you: is Casemiro done? Should he not start another game for Manchester United?
so I don't. Here's the thing. I don't know if he's done. I can see kind of both sides. The way Casemiro plays for us is a little bit different than the way he played for Madrid, but I think I don't think he's completely finished. I mean, he had a terrible game. I just think to be honest, I think he had a really, really bad game. I mean, that's the worst I've ever seen him play. I mean, he's had bad games, but that was god awful. Like I think when everything can go wrong, like everything literally went wrong for him. And once again, when things go wrong for a lot of our players, like mentally, like they just go down, like their heads down. And this is when I'm questioning where Bruno is as a captain. Like you see Casemiro struggling, pick your player up. Like pick the team up. Like this is the fucking derby here. Like this is Liverpool at home. Like where is Bruno?
But does a 5-time UCL winner play for Madrid, been in Clásicos and big games, really need that motivation? Or seeking that motivation, should I say?
Yes, because he's human. Like just because he's had all the success playing for Real Madrid doesn't mean like he can't have a terrible game.
Some of the experience has to kick in. I think you make a good point, but I think that it shouldn't be. I don't think Bruno should be blamed for not encouraging.
I'm not trying to blame. I'm not really trying to put all the blame on Bruno. I'm just saying we've seen this story so many times where we fall into this trap and go down 1-0, and our players are just having their heads down, and there's just everything just looks like it's just going to trend to us being beaten the way we got beaten. But at some point, I mean, someone has to just get these guys heads back up and like, listen, we're still in this game. But literally once Casemiro made that error, it was another error 10 minutes later. Like it's just, I don't know. That's just that's my opinion on it. But I mean, I could obviously, yeah. I mean, Casemiro has all the experience in the world, 5-time Champions League winner, and how many ever league titles. But I mean, I wouldn't really say he's completely finished, but he is trending in the opposite direction for sure.
Let me jump in quickly because what I see with Ten Hag is very similar to what I saw with Koeman in the 21-22 season at the beginning. Also a little bit of Xabi last season, because where Jose mentioned, are United done? Are they in crisis? I don't think so. I think the crisis mode hits once you enter 10 games. So right now we've only had 3 games. I think once 10 game hits, you analyze if they're not in like the top half, maybe even like European spots, that's when the crisis mode hits. For example, Ronald Koeman, he was, 9th place after 10 games. He sacked, move on. Xavi came in, revolutionized. Whereas I can see Max's point in this game, to that I don't think it's really down to Ten Hag. It was individual mistakes. That's pretty much the story of Barcelona's season last season. And then in the end, Xavi got sacked for it. But the issue is that it can't be always reoccurring. This game is huge for United. They have 4 games from now until the next international break, 3 of them away. I think I pulled it up here. They have Southampton, Crystal Palace, Villa all away, and then Spurs at home. If they don't win this game, they will be in crisis mode once this international break next one.
If he does not win this game, there's a chance that Ten Hag gets fired.
I actually agree with that.
This is a game where you're playing a newly relegated, newly promoted team. Obviously, it's away, but with what we've done this summer and carried on from how long Ten Hag has been here, this is a game that you cannot draw. You have to win. I'm talking about at least 2-3-0 comfortably win. Like if there's any chance that if we lose this game, there's a chance Ten Hag gets fired. I'm not saying he will. I'm saying there's a good chance he can get fired.
I don't think he will, because
he's on the hot seat.
I don't think he will, because look at it from the board's perspective, right? The people who are going to fire him. You invested so much money into key players that he asked for, right? For example, Manuel Ugarte, who's not even played. Let's say he'll play in this game, let's say 60 minutes on average, because it's going to be his first game. It'll be a hugely, massively risky move to sack Ten Hag after all the signs he asked for especially one of them only playing 60 minutes. I think the reason I said during the next international break, that's so they could really assess it, see what's up. Let's say they could lose this game, then beat Crystal Palace, beat Villa, beat Tottenham, then everything's gonna be all rosy and stuff. Of course, they have other games as well. There's the EFL Cup and Europa League and stuff like that. But just solely on Premier League, which is all the English teams primary objective. That's why I think they're gonna wait until the international break. That's when you can really assess it. There's been a lot of hype about they hired Ruud van Nistelrooy. In the event that Ten Hag needs to be sacked, they can have him as an interim. Get the Ollie at the wheel 2.0 kind of thing. So they're kind of already a tad bit prepared for that per se. I don't think they will hire any manager. Because no one's really available apart from Tuchel.
No one's really available.
He already rejected the job back in May as well.
Zidane already rejected it like 3 times.
Zidane is
the only one that would have made sense to me is like
Zidane will never coach any top.
Poch would have been like the only one that made kind of sense
if he was available.
If he was available, but then of course the USMNT picked him up. So yeah, I think right now it's going to be rude at some point if they decide to go away from Ten Hag. The only reason I agree with Max was only because of the. Like, think about it, bro. If Arsenal go into the North London Derby at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this weekend and lose 3-0, that still technically won't be as bad as us losing 3-0 to Spurs at the Emirates, right? It's like you can't lose 3-0 at home to your biggest rival. You just can't do it. And if you follow that up after a 2-week break with another L against a newly promoted side, I feel like Ineos will be under pressure from the fan base to do something drastic. I don't know if it leads to Ten Hag getting fired. But it's just like something has to change. I see the chances there for that reason. But going back to Casemiro, and the reason I asked the question was because I actually disagree with a lot of the sentiment out there right now. What everybody's talking about that Casemiro had a bad game, yes. Mm-hmm. I think Ten Hag's system doesn't favor him at all. And I point to there was a couple moments in the second half. One watching Kobe Mainoo specifically. That's when Casemiro came off at half. I wanted to see how Mainoo did in that same kind of role, just really kind of on his own with another, player around him. And he did as well as he could have. But there were moments where, bro, there's still such an insane gap between him and the back line. There's so much distance he has to cover as a kid. I feel like it doesn't really matter who's in that role. They're not set up for success. They don't have the pieces around him through the tactics and the system to make them successful. The 6 is going to be a very difficult.
They're basically relying on Manuel Ugarte to save their butts. As a Barcelona fan, I can value the position of a pivot because I've seen the greatest pivot of all time play the game and drop in and out of Barcelona over the course of the past 10 years, and I can see the difference. I think Casemiro would have a great role off the bench, kind of like McTominay last season where he'd come on and score a goal. I think Casemiro's role now is kind of half an hour off the bench, lock it down, just focus on defending, maybe work alongside Ugarte in that sense. I think starting now is not really his thing, but the issue is on, like we mentioned, $350K a week. So I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's worse than what I've seen at Barcelona. So they're basically relying on Ugarte to save them. Will he do that? I think Ugarte is a very good pivot. I think he's very talented, but we saw him last season in a double pivot with PSG. Didn't do too well. Then Luis Enrique changed it to a single pivot. He still didn't work too well. We end up seeing Fabian Ruiz drop there, Vitinha drop there. Why Zaire Emery all drop in there and perform well. This is why they end up selling Ugarte after one season. So I think again, this is the first player that Erik ten Hag has asked for, that he wanted for, that he didn't formally work with. So it's a huge gamble, and it will be, I think, a telling gamble. Again, I don't think if they could lose this game, United. I think if they lose like more than 4-0, he'll probably get sacked. That's just pure embarrassing, especially to a newly promoted team like Mac mentioned. But a 1-0, 2-1 loss, I don't think he gets sacked. I think he has this kind of period from now to the next international break, the 7-game gap. We're kind of working in 7-game intervals now with these international breaks to really, get something going.
Bro, I didn't even realize the Champions League is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week.
Yeah, exactly.
They have Thursdays now because of this whole league thing. I mean,
this shit's crazy.
I don't know, man. There's so many games, and that's why I think that the system that Ten Hag plays, it just has to change. I think it's Casemiro again. I think everyone was a little bit harsh without looking at why he kind of had the day that he had. Not that he's been stellar for United. I think he had one really good season, but
his first season.
I just feel like it's harsh, man. Like you're asking a lot of whoever plays in that position back and forth in transition to cover a lot of ground.
But look at the mistakes he made that led to the goal. It wasn't really based on his position. It's based on him making that mistake.
That's why I chose to watch Kobe Mainoo in the second half. I feel like he had a better game, but even Mainoo had one giveaway that wasn't really his fault. It's just there was nobody around.
That led to that Salah chance, right? That went
wide. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He wasn't gonna do dribble to three midfielders who are right up on him and pressing him.
And
like,
he tried a few times in that game.
But bro, it's like I don't even blame the holding mids because it's like, dude, like they're not set up for success at all. Like you have to give them a fighting chance in that midfield, and I don't know what's lacking in that cohesiveness that Ten Hag is trying to build because it's just not working. Like,
I feel like
Casemiro had a bad game, but it was just very harsh.
He needs to find a. He needs to find. I honestly think. I don't know if this is an agenda or not. I feel like it'll make a big difference having two pure wingers in Ahmad and Alejandro Garnacho who will make the defensive runs as well. Look at the first goal that Trent scored that was ruled out for offside. He was in no man's land. He was alone because Rashford didn't mark his run. Whereas if you had maybe Garnacho on that side, could have maybe put a stuck a foot in, maybe made it a bit more difficult for him to score. This is not an agenda, but I just think that Rashford has a lot to do with, especially in possession and how much he takes his time on the left-hand side. He reminds you a lot of Joao Felix. He's very much a moments player. Like he only turns up if he has a great start to a season, then he just continues it on going forward. Or in a moment, he'll pop up with his knuckleball shot and it'll just, bar down, go when everyone thinks he's the best thing since sliced bread. It's always the same story with him. But I think Rashford's performance and Ten Hag putting consistency in his team and a balance as well. Don't put Bruno as a false nine on the right.
Yeah,
don't play, Mazraoui so much at left back, even though I understand now he's covering the injury to Luke Shaw. Once I think he has that balance, plays the same lineup for 3 or 4 games. That's what I think. Hopefully during this international period, that's what we can really tell. Because again, he's chopping, changing it all the time. You can't change your team this much, especially at the beginning of the season. Matter if I asked Max what's Ten Hag's best 11, he probably couldn't give me an answer.
Yeah,
healthy I could, but.
Yeah, I play like for the first 3 years of the seasons, it's hard to tell what Erik Ten Hag's vision is for his best starting 11.
Well, Luke Shaw and Højlund should be back.
Yeah,
I think Ten Hag said today that they won't be fit for this game. They'll be back soon, but they're not going to be ready for this game.
And frankly, I don't even know if you need them for Southampton. And I just to go back to what Max was saying at the beginning. Like Ten Hag has to win this game comfortably. I think he has to win. I don't think it has to be a comfortable win. I think Newcastle beat them 1-0. Forest beat them 1-0. Brentford had, I guess, somewhat of a comfortable win, but that third goal came kind of late as well. So it was a 3-1. But they've made it difficult for some teams just through work ethic alone. I just think United needs a good performance, regardless of the score, and you have to get
that's what I mean. Like we really need a good performance from the team. Like that's just really all it is. I mean, a good performance to me should at least be 2-0. I mean, a lot of times we play a lot of these newly promoted teams or lower half teams, and we struggle to score. I think we just need to see a difference where we need to be a little bit more clinical.
If you think about it as well, the majority of the players that will start for United didn't even go on international break, right?
True.
Rashford didn't. Maguire wouldn't have. Mazraoui probably played a bit, I would assume.
He played. He played because he had the AFCON qualifications.
Okay. Did Diallo get called up for?
Who?
Diallo Ahmad.
Yeah, he did.
Garnacho only played. I think.
Garnacho only played that 60 minutes.
He came off like 10 minutes. Like
Xerxes played the first game.
So wasn't too heavily for them.
Let's predict this though. Right? Realistically, I expect it to be very close. Like I'm thinking 1-0. If Southampton scores, I still think United win this. I still think on the road, despite some of their kind of horrid away form, I still think that this is a team that you have to go there and win to just build some momentum, get into this 4-game stretch before the next international break and end it positively. You start that with even if it's a road game, a fairly easy game against Southampton to an extent. So I'm going to say 1-0 United. I think it's going to kind of go some of the way that these other matches have gone that Southampton have played so far. So I'm going to say 1-0.
I'm thinking 2-0 or 2-1 United. I don't know if they're going to keep a clean sheet or not. That's my big question.
I think 2-0.
If you go 2-0, I'll go 2-1. Let's spice it up a bit.
All right. Cool.
I am. United will not lose. They could maybe get like an unlucky draw.
Yeah, I don't see it as losing, but
yeah.
Even though with this game, let's see if it's
it'll be close. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think this will be a good telling one way or another for what we can expect from United for the next games before the international break. All right, Palace, Leicester City. This one's actually pretty interesting just because of where these two sit in the table. Palace starting off slow to kick off the season, although I will say, I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. Probably worse for Chelsea, but getting a draw at Stamford Bridge, decent result, right? You have to look at it that way.
Especially with their start.
Yeah, and then Leicester City keeping it competitive with Villa, and Villa having everything they have to fight for this season. So this to me is actually going to be a good game. I think that there's going to be a lot here for fans to kind of pick and choose from. I have my own kind of hot takes for how I think this will go. I kind of wish Austin was here for the Leicester City take because I think this might be Leicester's potential first dub. Palace still, to me, has things to work through. Like, Eze needs to...
I'm smelling a Leicester win, I don't know.
That's the
energy that I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Do I go for a Leicester win?
I was smelling a draw or a Leicester win.
You don't think Palace has a chance? I thought Eze was your boy.
Eze is my boy. I like Eze. But Palace to me just seemed like there's a lot of, I don't want to say issues, but there's just maybe concerns of just how they're playing, or I don't know what really the issue is. I mean, they played pretty good against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, so maybe they carry some momentum into this game. But I don't know. I mean, I don't think Leicester's also playing that bad. I think Leicester could honestly
they drew against Tottenham, correct?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a home game, but
who was their? Let me just check who their loss was. Other loss was against, because I want to dare. Yes, he lost to Fulham 2-1 away at Craven Cottage. So dare I say, Leicester have been like all right for a newly promoted side.
Yeah, I mean they've been competitive.
Draw against Spurs and narrow 2-1 loss against Villa and Fulham, who are that kind of mid to higher echelon part of the table outside the top six.
This is still Selhurst Park, though, right? We got to remember that this is still.
Yeah, but Selhurst Park is only amped when it's against the big teams. I guess the medium. No, I'm being serious. United, Arsenal. That's when Selhurst Park, really pulls up. And then when they have like their derby, I forget who it's with. Is it like Birmingham or someone? I forget. So maybe the London teams like West Ham and stuff. But that's why I'm feeling, I don't know. Should I back by underdogs in Leicester? I don't know.
Yeah, this is a close game to me. I don't. It kind of feels like a draw, but I want to go safe and almost just say Palace because I feel like they're overdue for their first win. I'm surprised they haven't gotten it yet.
That's also what I was thinking because I'm trying to catch up on some points here.
No, I'm trying to get my record back up, man. I need to go a little bit safe.
I can't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Leicester have scored technically, I think 7 in their last 5. Now, keep in mind, like 4 of those came in the EFL Cup match, but
we'll take it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's one of those where Leicester City could show up in a big way. Vardy could find a way to break Palace fans' hearts at the very end. And that honestly would break my heart, especially if I pick Palace here and I take another L on the fucking record sheet. But
my official prediction is going to be a 1-1 draw with a Jimmy Vardy goal. And this Eagle celebration again. Remember last time I predicted Michael Keane to score for Everton.
I know you did.
Don't forget that. You know what I mean?
You remember the Michael Keane Barca links, by the way?
Huh?
You remember like when Koeman was coaching and there was like the Michael Keane Barca links? You remember that?
No.
Yeah, bro. I remember that. Like he was like looking at Michael Keane for a second. We need a center back. I don't know. I thought that was so wild to me. I was like, could you imagine?
I feel like Crystal Palace scored like around the half an hour mark. Going halftime leading, and then counterattack from Leicester 1-1. That's what I'm thinking. That's my prediction.
Yeah, bro. I just need Eze to like have some faith in his team, right? I feel like when I watch him play, he just like takes the ball, doesn't look up. He goes full Martinelli. He just kind of looks down, tries to take players on, and then rip a shot off. Even if Mateta is making a blistering run behind the back line, probably will be free and clear if he just plays him in. Eze,
I would not be surprised if Crystal Palace won this game 4-0. I wouldn't be surprised. I was thinking the ball rolling against a team, they tend to like not hold back and they tend to be clinical. But I don't know. I've been kind of optimistic about Leicester's start. So I get a draw. No wins in Palace's first 4 games is crazy.
That's why I'm saying I think I'm gonna back Palace to win this. And bro, you're not gonna back Chadi Riyad to pocket Vardy.
Yeah, he'll pocket it, but Vardy will get like a counter-attack goal.
Come on, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm gonna go with Palace. It's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be like a 2-1.
If they draw and Vardy score, they hate the end of it in the group chat.
I want to.
Please.
I really want to.
I won't if Mateta scores a hat trick though. I'll
Stop, bro.
I'll-
Stop. He's not off the mark yet, which is weird.
I
but-
pray every day, Jose, he gets a hat trick at the Emirates this season. Oh my god. Max and I are gonna be in there for like a whole day straight.
Bro, I might buy a Mateta kit. I'm not gonna even lie to you. I'm
Oh,
not gonna even hold you.
We'll buy Jose a
I'm not
Arsenal
gonna
Mateta
hold
kit.
you. I would literally go on Crystal Palace website and buy it.
I can't, bro.
Oh my god.
The first and last time he'll ever be on that Crystal Palace shot.
Yeah, bro. And then,
Give us a prediction.
then Arsenal sign him next year.
No, bro, ain't no shot. If Arsenal sign him, I give up on the title race. Like it's done. Like I'm fucking out. I'm over it. All right, I'm back.
I think I'm gonna pick a draw here. I think I just
Oh,
see a draw.
Bro, you know what Max is doing, right? He saw Hop at the top of that standing.
No, but like
I'm gonna full send this pick.
no, I can't see who's gonna win this game. I think it's a close game, so I'm gonna back a draw.
That's fair. It's a tough one.
Palace
It's a tough one
5-0 win.
Yeah,
bro.
I can see Palace easily winning this game like 3-0, but like
If Leicester win this game, it'll be like
I think if Leicester win this
2-1.
game, they're gonna beat the shit out of Leicester. But if they don't, I think it's gonna be a win.
Oh, Chadi Riyadh might be out for this game.
Oh, I'm changing my prediction 2-1 Leicester.
Oh man, and someone who's doubtful, Adam Wharton. Fuck my life. Okay,
No, I'm still going. I don't think this will be Leicester's first win.
bro,
Leicester's first win this season.
Wharton's one of their best players, easily.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah,
Mark Hughes still doing a job for
Riyadh's on
Palace.
until mid-October.
Yeah,
my boy. I'll DM him, see how he's doing.
I'll DM.
Yeah, definitely.
Damn,
I see a draw.
the Wharton one's the big one for me. I feel like.
Don't all go draw now, Jose. You gotta be different.
All right, fine. Fuck it. I'll take Palace. That's the only one I go out on a limb on, though. That's the only one I go out on a limb because I can't get too risky with these picks, bro. I can't.
Fair enough.
Not too many hot takes. All right, let's move on to Fulham hosting West Ham.
Battle
of
a nutty one as well.
London clubs in general. Yeah. This is gonna be a nutty game, I think. I don't know. I think the jury is still kind of out on. I know I picked West Ham to be my surprise team. I think they will be. They looked good against Palace, but they left it really late. The 2 goals came like midway through the second half, and then towards the end of the game, and Souček had to be a big factor in the first goal there as well. I'm still waiting for them to like kind of get there. You know what I mean?
The sign's still getting integrated. You know, Wan-Bissaka didn't start that game. Todibo's still not starting. The only sign that's really starting in now is surprisingly Guido Rodriguez. That's why they binned off JWP to Nottingham as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how Guido Rodriguez, him and Lopetegui got some sort of Spanish connection going on. But
yeah, maybe La Liga vibes. I feel like Fulham is tricky though, right? Because didn't we all have it? When you thought about the full 20 list of teams in the Premier League coming into the season, where'd you have Fulham?
Like mid-table, like 10,
10,
11, 9,
10,
somewhere
11.
like that in that 3 area.
But then they finished 12th last season, and they got better, no? Didn't they sign? Yeah, they signed
signed
Smith Rowe, they signed
Rose,
Reece Nelson,
Sanderberg.
Adama was also a new signing this past window, right?
No, he's been there. He's just now rejuvenated all of a sudden.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. They did tie on it says it right there, right? The draw on the road to Ipswich, which Ipswich might be tricky away. Who knows? And of course, West Ham had the luxury of playing Manchester City in the first 3 games, so that factors in too. But
for sure,
this one's tough, bro. I mean,
do I go back-to-back draws? I don't think I do, to be honest. I gotta pick a winner here.
I think I'm gonna stick with Fulham. I'm pretty sure Fulham has beaten West Ham at home like the last 3 games, like the last 3 times they met. So
it's not. Yeah, it's not even just that. It's like the last 2, I believe, were like West Ham didn't even fucking score.
One of them was in the cup last season. No.
Yeah,
I remember that one.
And I think Fulham are, I think Fulham are pretty. I think Fulham are. Yeah, they drew against Ipswich, but that was also Ipswich's first home game? No.
Yeah,
and then it was the second. They had the opener against Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean that's.
It's also just difficult to go to a newly promoted side that you know nothing about.
Yeah,
try to get
Fulham lost to United in the first game. Then they beat Leicester 2-1, so narrow win against a newly promoted side. Then they go to another newly promoted side and they drew.
Yeah.
So if you look at it like that, it could give you a different perspective. I'm gonna back the Hammers.
Really?
Wan-Bissaka, I feel like we'll have a good game because he's not had an international break. Todibo wasn't called up. Fulkrug wasn't called up either. So I think even Jared Bowen wasn't called up either to England, if I'm not
I don't think
mistaken.
any Fulham players were called up either.
Yeah, so they're all like fully fresh.
They're all fully fresh.
Maybe the Czech boys went. Are they Czech? Shuzek and Kufal, they're Czech, or they?
Yeah, they're Czech.
Yeah, they're Czech.
Yeah, so maybe they got called up, but I'm back in the irons.
This might be my draw of the week. This might be my draw.
Watch them all be draws. I'll be pissed.
This might be the one that I feel like I thought about West Ham, but I feel like I have to pick a draw here somewhere. I think it's going to be it. I think it's close. I think Craven Cottage will be difficult. Marco Silva's men will make it difficult, but West Ham will have something to say about this game. I still think it'll be enough, so I'm going to go with the draw.
Yeah, I'm a back Fulham, the home team.
Ooh, 3 different results all the way around. All right, man.
Who's going to get the points?
Yeah, I mean, what are the odds that Emil Smith Rowe, bro? If he gets on the score sheet again, Fulham might just flat out win this. Max might be onto something. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. There are vibes around this kid, and like they rally around that a little bit. I think kind of at Arsenal.
I think there's like a whole unity around this team. Like they're a young team. Like I feel like there's just a good positive vibe with this team. And even against United, they didn't play bad. Like they played pretty good against United. So I don't think they've really had a bad,
I thought West Ham did all right against City as well. I don't think
I don't think they did that bad either.
Yeah, they weren't terrible. They did make it 1-1 at some point. So
City can make any good team look bad. I mean, it's just how it works.
I mean, I hate to talk about City, but Rodri hasn't even played yet, and they're fucking killing everybody.
It's because Haaland's in like fucking insane.
He's insane robot form again.
Yeah, he's back to what he was prior to last season. So it's like, it doesn't even matter who's playing behind him as long as you get him the ball. He's probably
Barcelona 20 will be there.
God, I hope so. And look, man, I will say this: if Anthony Robinson, right, if Jedi has a fantastic game in this one, I might have to eat my words and Fulham might win this outright. I think he's created the most big chances for them, and it makes sense, bro. He's so
left back, right? So he'll come up against Bowen.
Yeah,
we'll see how he does.
Yeah, well, we'll see if Bowen keeps him pinned back or if he gets that freedom down the left flank. But if he gets that freedom and gets involved in the attack, man, expect Fulham to create a lot of chances. They should anyway. So, all right, we're split all the way around. I like this matchup. We'll find out. The fourth preview: Bournemouth taking on Chelsea. Bournemouth, the craziest dub so far of the season, right? All 3 goals coming from the 86th minute onward into stoppage time against Everton. Sean Dyche can catch a fucking break, bro. And then Chelsea. We'll see about that one. That one we will see about as the season goes on. And then, of course, Chelsea, bro. Chelsea is the Gattuso meme. Like, there's no better way to fucking like.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Exactly. Like they'll slam Wolves 6-2 and then find a way to draw it home against Palace. In a very
I think you actually really called it the week before too. You said actually for the prediction, you were like Chelsea just went on and just whooped this team, and now all of a sudden they're gonna lose or draw to the next team, and literally that's just what happened.
Like, we'll see this over and over.
They nearly won that Europa that Conference League qualification game as well midweek.
That they didn't even give a shit about. And did you guys see for that? I guess for Conference League, they submitted squads and Cole Palmer's not going to be involved. Who else?
I think it was just Cole Palmer.
Cole Palmer.
Oh,
so he won't play any group stage games up until the new squad is submitted in January. So.
Yeah, and that's smart. Honestly, for Chelsea, like you have
so many games,
60 fucking players. You don't need your absolute best player to go out there and try, get injured against a Conference League team. So yeah, look, I mean, it's anybody's guess, which Chelsea version shows up on the road against Bournemouth. But I have a feeling Iraola is going to be up for this one, right? I think he's going to be up for this one.
It's going to be Iraola masterclass. I'm backing Bournemouth to win this game for sure.
I'm backing them too.
Sweet, bro. I really felt good about Bournemouth. I will say this too. They pissed me off watching them against Everton. Like if it wasn't for that late surge, they got unlucky a couple times. Evan Nilsson got unlucky a couple times, but I don't know why they waited.
The Vitaly saying that's the most important factor for me as well. Small pitch, Bournemouth are just gonna, I just feel like with Chelsea, like you said, like if they played like they played against Wolves, yes, they'll make it difficult. But Bournemouth is just such a well-coached team.
They are well-coached.
My only issue with Bournemouth right now is their fullbacks aren't playing well, especially Julian. I don't know what the hell is happening with him. It was like a Barcelona masterclass right now, but. He hasn't been playing too well. Evan Nilsson now is going to be coming off the back of 2 weeks of training with Bournemouth, getting integrated with them. Their new striker to replace Solanke from Porto. So I think last season as well. I don't want to be. I don't know if I'm 100% sure, but I think Bournemouth won the game last season at home as well. I will check that. But I think
they drew.
They drew.
They drew.
That was a draw.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a draw. Yeah, and then Chelsea took the home leg. So, but either way, I still think
It was a draw
Bournemouth-
same time at the same time this season as well.
Yeah, I think Bournemouth reinforced though, and they got better in the offseason.
Yeah.
Ola has only gelled more with the team that he's building. Some pieces aren't working like Julian, and that's super unfortunate because I was really hopeful for him. But
We'll see. Early days.
yeah, early days.
Mhm.
I think Evan Nilsson still has some room to grow and needs to get going, but I still think they're a more cohesive team than Chelsea. And the one question I have for you guys from Chelsea's perspective is Reece James is still out. I think Gusto just got injured. Who the fuck is starting at right back?
Pedro Neto.
Joe Felix. Check one of your 10 attackers there.
Take your pick.
You put a winger back there? Fuck it. I don't know what they do. They go three in the back?
I think he'll put one of the center backs there.
One of the center.
Who's that guy they signed for free from Fulham? Probably him. I forget his name. It starts with an A.
I couldn't even tell you, bro. Like they signed so many players. I haven't kept up with Chelsea like that. I don't know, man. It's for me, it's a big question mark because I think the outside backs are crucial to what Enzo Maresca wants to do.
We might put a left back there as well. Not Cucurella, maybe, but maybe someone else. I don't know who else.
Cucurella on the right would have that defense in shambles.
What's his name? Tostin out of Rubio, whatever.
Yes, him. I think maybe he might get chucked in there at fullback, the defensive right back.
Bro, it might be 50 players. It might be call on and still having
Levi Colwell. I think Colwell.
No, it's gonna be Diassi. It's gonna be Diassi.
I think Levi played last season at fullback against Newcastle away. If I'm not mistaken.
Actually, Axel was the player who came in when Gusto got injured, right? I'm pretty sure he was the one that subbed in. It would make sense if it was Disasi.
One of those center backs will probably play there.
Yeah.
Ben Chilwell's time been frozen now, so he won't be a makeshift.
No. He's not all of a sudden going to backpedal on his comments about Chilwell and be like, "Yeah, bro, come back in." Put a shift in for us. That'd be fucked up, to be honest. Yeah, man. I don't know. I think there's a lot of question marks with Chelsea. They could make this a game. It could be a draw, but I will back what you guys said. I think Bournemouth's going to win this game.
Yeah.
So
This might. We don't know which Chelsea we're going to get. Like this could literally eat us. Like Chelsea can literally go in this game and just whip their ass.
I don't think Chelsea will win this game by like a big margin. I can win this, 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, 2-1 ish. But I don't see them like doing like a Crystal Palace against Leicester, like a 4-0, something like that.
Bro, do you think does Madueke keep the momentum going?
Got an assist for Harry Kane, right? I
think so, yeah.
I think he does. I mean, I think this is going to be a high scoring game in my opinion, though. Like I think there's going to be at least three goals. I know the last two fixtures have been like low scoring, but both teams have been scoring a lot of goals to start the season. So I think this is going to be at least a 3-goal game.
I can see that.
If it were to draw, I mean, it could be a cheeky 2-2. It really depends on. To me, it's more dependent on Bournemouth. I think if Bournemouth takes the game to Chelsea, Chelsea will have to step their shit up. They're gonna play the new signings at least a few minutes, right? I don't know what kind of impact Neto or Felix will really have on this side. To me, there's just I don't know. There's too many question marks. And who's the best midfield three?
Well,
Lavia's out technically.
Lavia's out,
right? Yeah.
So it's probably
Enzo Caicedo,
and Palmer, and then Madueke on the right, and then pick your poison on the
left. I love Jadon Sancho, Modric, Joe Felix, Neto. I mean, whoever Maresca.
Shit, where the fuck is Shrewsbury Hall? I mean,
bro, I'm saying, bro, like what the fuck? I actually thought that was a crazy move by Leicester.
He could play Dewsbury Hall as a fullback, a little Kimmich Roberto kind of thing. Man, that could be.
He could.
Something to change it up. We usually see like makeshift midfielders who are versatile get put in those kind of positions when there's injuries and stuff. So you might fancy him over Diassi. Maybe he's been working on that during international break. Who knows? But that's been a pointless signing. I mean, imagine the guy. If he stayed at Leicester, had a good season, could have gotten maybe like a move like a Fulham or a Bournemouth or Aston Villa. That would have been good for him. But
he should have just stayed. I mean, just knowing that the promotion was coming, he should have just found a way to stay. In my opinion, like I don't know what was attractive about Chelsea, considering how many players.
I mean, tell it to all the people that are still signing for Chelsea. Like I want to be in the room of like what's being said to them. Like what are they telling? Like what in the world can they possibly?
By the way, we talked about them having so many wingers. They signed one of the best Brazilian talents I've seen since like Rodrigo and Estavio Willing as well for like 60 million. Who's going to join?
Messinho.
Who's going to join next year? So
yeah,
God knows what they're going to be doing there.
But what Max said right now, just
Barcelona should have been a loan deal for that.
Yeah, we should do something like that. But just talking about the motivation for it really quick. I know we all saw Jadon Sancho sign at the last second.
And Jadon Sancho.
That fucking
I mentioned
interview,
him.
right? That Max linked in the group chat, bro. That was hilarious, right? Just because Enzo wasn't even there when he was at City.
Yeah,
but he cited that as the reason.
I was like, bro, you weren't even like at City. Like,
why are you lying, bro? Why the fuck are you lying? Just be honest, man. You got paid.
It's just all PR. It's all PR.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. That's crazy that he just expects someone to fact check that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, anyway, I mean, before we move on to the North London derby, Max, as the United fan here, what are your expectations for Sancho this season? Do you
absolute shit? If he even shows up to practice,
damn.
I mean, he'll show up, but like he'll be 2 hours late and just
That's fucking crazy.
He literally like the minute he signed, he changed. First of all, he had no United like pictures or anything, and then like he changed everything from Dortmund to Chelsea, like in a matter of like 2 hours. So
I will say this: Sancho is 100% scoring at Old Trafford this season. I will tell you that right now for free.
There'll be the motivation for sure.
He'll score at Old. I've seen this too many times where a player will make like a dodgy move where he'll probably be mid or even crap, and he'll score against the
that'll be his one or two goals of the whole year.
The 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah, but like they'll take away points from you, right? So or killing, should I say?
I mean. Possibly. I mean, he can score a goal. He can score a goal and we can still win.
Yeah,
that's true. It only happened last year in the most shithousery way possible, right? We all remember that United Chelsea game towards the end of last season, and how it ended. But I don't know. I don't have high expectations for Jadon. I was just kind of curious how United fans feel about him and his tumultuous tenure at United and now moving on to Chelsea.
It's good riddance.
Fair. I'd be right there with you, bro. 100%. All right, man.
I was before that. I will say, people keep saying like Ten Hag did a lot of shit to Sancho, but Ten Hag is also the reason why Sancho had like a 3-month break, sent him to the fucking mountains for his mental health, and brought him back and started him and gave him all the time in the world for him to act the way he acted. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, to be fair, I have yet to see a good report about like Sancho personality wise or like work ethic wise as a player, like a character. Yeah. Not that I've seen a bunch of bad ones, but there are some who cite like just he gives up too easily, kind of no accountability, from his perspective. I just think that there's a lot there personality wise that maybe what teams want to stay away. But Chelsea felt like they could use another winger, so fuck it, right? Yeah. After agreeing to pay 2/3 of Raheem Sterling's wages as he moves on to Arsenal.
2/3 or half?
2/3. Arsenal is paying 96K of his wages.
That's crazy.
Isn't that fucking insane, bro? I thought that was wild. I was like, dude, I would never gift my rival a fucking player like that, an experienced player like Raheem Sterling, even if he's not in your plans. Like that's stupid. I don't know, bro. It's weird. But speaking of Arsenal, we conclude our preview section with the North London derby. It is the biggest game of the weekend, just like the United Liverpool game was before the international break. This, I think obviously, right, we're going to talk about everyone's calling it the injury crisis at Arsenal. It is very, very unfortunate. I will say I made the clip, right? I put it out there for national break. Hoff knows what I'm talking about. I fucking can't stand the first international break of the season. It's the worst. Like
it's terrible.
It just doesn't make sense, bro. Like it's pointless injuries, and not even just us, bro. I saw City fans everywhere crying because Ake got injured too.
Ake got hurt. Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, it just from
Arsenal
perspective, thank God, man. Like I would have cried.
It's so funny. United survived like every international break, but like when it comes to like the first game back, it's like two guys instantly get hurt.
Bro, it's always bad luck too, right? Like right. I mean, it's a thing. Like bad luck right after national break. I feel like teams drop off in form for whatever reason. It's just I don't know, man. It's bad vibes. To me, they shouldn't start till October. But putting that aside, it is what it is. Arsenal now have to go into this game, very big game, missing Odegaard, missing Declan Rice due to that stupid fucking suspension that Rice got. I say stupid, not solely because of him, just because of the
it was just
the refereeing standards in this fucking league. It's just kind of weird how everything works.
Conversation for another day.
Yeah, conversation for another day. But I still believe I'm kind of an optimist in this. I still believe we are the better team and that we can go there. And Arteta now probably has more than enough reason to prove that it's not just the individual talent on this team making it tick, that it legitimately is our team collectively being better than the majority of the teams in this league. And so this is your chance to prove it. I think Saka will probably end up owning the captaincy just based on how long he's been under Arteta compared to everybody else who's going to start. My question to you guys is, who being neutrals, right? Well, kind of being neutrals. What midfield three do you put in? Because basically,
Bro, I was just about to say to
choice,
you. I was about to say to you right now. After your question, tell me what midfield three is going to happen because I have no idea.
This is for me.
Will Havertz drop in the 10? Will you put someone else?
No.
Is it going to be a party? Is it Jorginho? Is it good? I have no idea.
I think Party has to start, and
he's the like one guarantee. I think.
Yeah, he is the one guarantee, and man, we got so lucky with him. He played the full 90 in both of the international break matches.
Yeah, he did.
But I think that's a good thing for him. He's had no continuity over the last year and a half, zero. I think he needed this. He needed to actually get some good, strong performances in a full 90 in a couple games in a row. I think this would be good for him. Momentum should allow him hopefully to look a little bit better in this game. But outside of that, it is a little bit tricky. I think personally, a lot of fans are throwing out there shit that doesn't make sense, like Zinchenko in the midfield. That doesn't make sense.
I've seen some of that too. Yeah.
He's not a dual winner. He's just not. Yeah, he's a good passer of the ball. Yeah, he can link up really well. But when you need him to get stuck in transition, which Spurs do a lot of, he's not going to win those duels. He's just not. I think Jorginho is an interesting play, but I feel like it makes us too defensive. I really feel like it's going to end up being. There's one or two ways.
Who's left? I'm so confused.
No, so there's a couple different options. I think this is a crazy shout, and this is kind of the hot take that I alluded to in the group chat. I think Nwaneri should warrant a little bit of consideration. I think at some point he's going to have to make his debut. I know he's a kid, 17, 18 years old, whatever he is. A very gifted youngster. We're now, I think, in this era of football where we're seeing more young talent enter the field at an earlier stage in their career. This is not ideal conditions, right? I would never throw a random 17-year-old into the North London Derby to start over your captain, no less. But difficult times, difficult solutions. I think Arteta will figure out how he wants to piece the midfield together. But I think the formation changes, and I feel like what I don't want to see happen is I don't want to see Havertz come back into the 8. I don't. I think you need him to challenge Van de Ven and Romero as much as possible. And I think
would he put Havertz, I guess maybe as a shadow striker, and put Trossard as the false 9 or however the formation will be. I can also see that happening, and then I can see
if you put Trossard in the middle, who's going to play on the left? You're going to bet on out of form Martinelli or
Sterling.
Remontada Sterling.
I don't think Raheem will start. I think he'll feature in this game.
Yeah, but I think I would I don't know what's going to happen, but I feel like I don't think Havertz is starting at the 9 this game. Just based off how your midfield's set up at the moment, I can see him dropping him either back into the 8 role or under a shadow striker 10 role for Havertz. And then Party has to start. There's just no. There's no one else, and there's no Michael Marino. He has to start.
I'm almost certain that Arteta will go with the double pivot of Jorginho and Party. I just don't know what he's gonna do in that. Well, like Jose mentioned, will he change the formation? Will he? Every time we see elite managers lose key players when they're kind of on a roll, they usually stick with what they have formation and style-wise and just kind of plug in holes. I honestly don't see him moving Havertz from the 9 as well. So that pretty much leaves Trossard playing the 10, then Martinelli off the left, Saka off the right. So that's what I think Arteta will do. 17-year-old, listen, whether you like to admit it or not, Barcelona are the only team that have the balls to do it and let alone do it.
Kobe Mainoo was 18, right? Or 19.
But that was injury force, right? Because they had no one else. Okay, let's chuck him in. I know
we're injury force.
But this is for one game. Kobe Mainoo was more so of a period of time. They wanted to rely on him as well. That he got injured at the beginning of the season. That's why when they came back, they had all this hype around him. Barcelona are the only team that I see in Europe, especially in the Europe top 5 league, that are okay, we have a right winger out injured. We're not gonna put a left winger there or a cam there or something else there. We did it in the Classico with Roberto once when we won 4-0 because Messi was out. We had no other winger. We put Roberto there. That's a bit different, but we're the only team that I feel like would say, yeah, all right, go on, youngster, and show us what you got. That's how they kind of get their rise to fame, so to speak. Look at Kubarsi last season, for example, got chucked in. I think his first big moment was away at the Metropolitan against Atletico Madrid. Masterclasses, then the ball just kept rolling. But I think Arteta, again, it's a Premier League. It's so many games. It's a North London Derby. I don't see him doing that. So I think he'll go with Partey, Jorginho, and the pivot. I think he'll keep Havertz at the 9. The rest,
Yeah.
to roll the dice, really.
I think the one nuance that Arteta will try to squeeze into this game tactically will be, I think if he starts Kai in the 9, Trossard in the 10, he's going to have them rotate in and out of each other often, right? So I really feel like the movement between those two is going to continuously float between Havertz coming into the midfield, Trossard going up. Trossard's a better striker of the ball than Havertz. Like, he's just a better finisher. It's just that he doesn't have the physicality to compete with Romero and Van de Ven. Like, he's just not going to do that. So I think Kai, when Saka's on the right, for example, if Trossard was ahead of him for whatever reason, they would rotate the runs. Kai would push, heavy into the box and wait for the service from Saka, challenge the center backs there, versus some of the build-up play in transition where Trossard could get some free space and have a crack from the 18 or even a little bit closer. So yeah, I don't think it's smart to do what Arteta did last season, which was try to play Kai in the 8. It's just like, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Yeah. And I will say Kai has played well so far, back in the 9 position. So
yeah,
I guess, it really wouldn't benefit, Arsenal from putting Kai back in the 8 spot. But it's just,
But the contrary, because
not so many options right now.
But on the flip side, you could say, this is a good moment to see how he would play in the 8 as in a high intensity game. That way, when you do buy a striker in the future, Sesko, Isak, whatever, you could have that conversation having Havertz in behind to, provide some coverage competition for Odegaard in the future. So
that's true. I think Arteta is like, I don't know if Pep is this risk averse, but I feel like Arteta's a very risk averse manager. Like, it's a reason why we don't see Saka ever come off the fucking field. Saliba never comes off the field.
Pep definitely is when needed. We even saw that a lot last season as well. Chucking Gavardio at left back out of nowhere. Nathan Ake 2 years ago at left back out of nowhere. So Pep does
much more season. Arteta's still like kind of not a new manager, but still kind of in his his first role technically.
He doesn't want to risk it for the biscuit way.
Yeah, exactly. And we saw it last year against City, right? Like he just plays a little more risk averse when needed, and I think for that reason, it's like it might make a little more sense to have Trossard there. But if he, let's just say we see the team sheet and we see Kai in the 8 and Trossard line up as the false 9, I will guarantee that those runs will rotate. It's sometimes going to be Kai getting into the box, crashing in. Sometimes it'll be Trossard holding back like as that 10 and waiting for the run. I think there's just going to be a lot of movement between those two, but everything else should tick for the most part. Partey will have a strong opportunity to push forward and get some shots off in this game the way Declan kind of will. So, because Jorginho's not that fucking guy. Jorginho will wait back and just kind of control the midfield. That's just all he's set to do. So, and meanwhile, from Spurs' perspective, there are rumors now that Bissouma might be injured, might be out. Bentancur got that charge from the FA for the silly comments about Son, but I don't know if those will go into effect for this game. So it's just a matter of whether Big Ange wants to play him in this one. And there's no Oliver Skip, right? They sold him to Leicester City. So Spurs in an interesting spot, the drawing to Leicester, not really looking like they're in prime Ange ball mode just yet. And Solanke, I mean, hell, he scored on us last season, bro, at Bournemouth, So if he gets a chance, I am fearful that he will be able to bury. I think he's back, right? He's not injured anymore. I'm pretty sure he's back in the lineup.
He's back. I think he's back.
So Saliba and Gabriel will have their hands full, but I still think we have enough to pull this game out. How do you guys see it going?
Well, boots are on the ground. I'm going to a Spurs bar on Sunday morning. I am backing the Spurs to win 2-1.
I like it, the agenda. Fair enough.
I think it will be either a draw or an Arsenal win. I cannot see Tottenham winning this game. I already picked my one draw. Don't really want to pick 2, so I will back the Gunners for this game because if they win, then I get the points. If they lose, I'll still be happy. It's just it's a win-win, bro. It's a win-win. No, I'm gonna hate Arsenal. Just want to the NLD meltdowns from Arsenal.
You don't hate Arsenal, but like.
I love seeing the Arsenal fans crying. That's what I like.
You just like seeing that's what I was going to say. You like
NLD rants and cries are top tier. That's undefeated. So give me some of that.
It's fair. And you know what? I'll be honest. Looking at it from the outside in, it's more enjoyable to watch the Arsenal fans overreact than it is the Spurs. Because I mean, it's the same thing that's always been for Spurs, right? Like, are never going to be fucking
because
anything.
there's more
So,
Arsenal fans on social media. I remember
Yeah,
back in the
true.
day, like when I was in high school, the thing about Arsenal was that they always won polls online because there's just so many of them online. Like,
bro,
they'd be
the
like,
banter club days were fucking like. I'll be honest.
no,
like
I'm talking like 2000, like
Oh yeah,
13,
right
14.
before then. Right before then. Yeah.
Yeah, so like,
Yeah.
there's always this thing going around, like you see like Sky Sports do a poll or other outlets, and Arsenal would always like be dominating it because they have the persona and the stereotype was that Arsenal had so many fans online. So that's why when you see them lose a big game like this, of course, big game for them, especially.
Yeah.
I just love to see it.
Yeah. I think, and even looking back to last year's North London derby at Tottenham, where
It's like a 3-0 win, wasn't it?
Well, no, they came back. They got a penalty and then like a random fucking deflection goal. But so it was 3-2, but the 2 goals came like the last 10.
Oh
minutes.
yes, Ryan made a mistake, right?
Yeah, Ryan made a
okay,
mistake. Yeah.
Yeah.
So remember, like, he tried to I don't know what the fuck he was doing. He tried to like he hesitated
I remember
when he
it.
went clear
Him
and it
making a
popped up.
mistake.
Yeah, it was weird. And then the penalty kick. But outside of that, Arsenal dominated. And what was crazy about the game was Odegaard did not have a great game. Saka was the one who really stepped up. It was Saka, Kai, and Gabriel, I believe, who scored. All 3 of those players will be available for this one. I think hopefully Saka wearing the captain armband, he just picks up right where he left off. I'm back in Arsenal, of course. I think it's gonna be much closer than last year's NLD at Tottenham, but I still expect us to get the dub. So I think even if the kid doesn't start, I'm really hoping we see 15, 20 minutes of him and him just like being comfortable and showing the world what he can do. I like Ethan Nwaneri. I think he's got a lot to offer, but he is very young. It's a big game to bring him in for. And I hope Raheem Sterling...
Don't bring the Barca mentality to Arsenal, man. Don't go in that kind of expectation. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you're right. I can't Lamine Yamal this shit, all right? I'm hoping that we see some minutes. That's all I'm really hoping for. And Raheem, he has to play, I think, a little bit. He has to show something in this one. I really believe that.
He didn't play against Brighton, right?
No. The signing was so brand new, but he wasn't even suited up. He was like in the stands. But I think that for this one, he'll be 2 weeks international break, got some gel in with the guys. I feel like he's gonna hopefully be up for this one. Off the bench.
I feel like low key he's gonna play kind of a Reece Nelson role. Where he'll play like once every other game. I think because he's a big name, Arsenal fans might expect to see him a bit more. But I don't feel like Arteta, once he has. The Catalonia boys are very like strict in their methodology, right? They won't change it for nothing. So.
It's annoying, to be honest. But
he's not even earning that much. You're only paying him, like you said, 2/3 of his salary. It's not like you're paying half his salary or all of it or majority of it where you kind of have to like play him.
More just reinsurance of
it's a reinforcement.
Player training.
Yeah, it's a reinforcement.
It's like games.
I agree. If we need to give Saka some rest in the upcoming, matches where we're not playing against Spurs, City, or a Champions League match, we need rotation.
I would say this: if I think Reece Nelson, if I'm not mistaken, started maybe a handful of games in the Premier League last season, like 2 or 3. I'm guessing at the absolute most. So if Zerry does more than that, I think that's already a bonus. Of course, in rest for Saka, not starting on the left and Saka starting on the right.
Yeah, no, it has to be, bro. If we still use Saka the same way we've been using him for the last 3 years or 4 years, I'm gonna lose my mind. Anyway, look, we have of course, did Max give his of course Max Tottenham.
I mean, Arsenal has a great chance to win, but I'll take that out if I have
keep the agenda. I totally get it. And then Barca boy, did you say draw or win? Which one are you picking?
I said Arsenal win. Win.
Got it. Okay, perfect. All right, those are our preview and predictions for the 5 big matchups. Let's go through our quick fire picks and we'll get out of here, man. Brighton hosting Ipswich.
Brighton.
It should be Brighton. Yeah, so I'm gonna take Brighton there too.
Bro,
Brighton's got a little bit of attitude now under Hertzler. It's kind of interesting to see these players, kind of back it up vocally too. It's we'll see if Brighton's got a little bit of swag by the end of the season. Liverpool hosting Forest.
Liverpool at Anfield as well.
Yeah,
they'll make it 5-5.
What happens if they draw in this game?
Has Forest lost a game yet?
Nah, bro. We all picked Forest to go down. By the way.
They're still going down. Forest are 1-2. To be fair, fair enough.
Yeah.
What if they pull another draw at their ass?
They could. That's what I'm saying. If they draw here, I don't know. Maybe the Arne. Right now, everybody loves Arne Slot. Like right now, he could do no wrong after how he broke down Ten Hag's tactics and whatnot. So I don't know.
If you really know football, he didn't break it down.
He didn't break it down.
I know, but everybody
just the big words. You were like,
I think the average fan said the same shit on social media.
Yeah. I didn't say anything about it.
If he gave me like a proper analysis, I'd be like, yo, fair. But he's gonna be stupid if he does that. He's gonna leak how he thinks. It's just
Yeah.
He gave a very high level overview of how they play and how they attacked it, but that was really it. City hosting Brentford.
Next
5-0, yeah.
And Bumo masterclass.
Embrace.
No, I'm kidding.
yeah,
Bro, by the way, I did hear that this season, before Sterling, this transfer window before Sterling materialized, I think Thomas Frank wasn't having it, but Arsenal went knocking for Mbumo.
Really? That would have been
that would have been a fucking signing. I would have been excited as shit about that one. That would have had.
I'm not gonna lie. I would have been excited for Mbumo, even though fuck Art, but like I would have been excited for Mbumo, man. I think he's way too good for
player,
Brentford.
Bro. He's such a good player.
He's way too.
Yeah, he's only 25 years old. Yeah,
bro. I would have taken Mbumo. God, that would have been over Martinelli tomorrow. Like I
man, we're bidding Martinelli already. That's crazy.
No, I'm just saying he's ready to like be the starter and be the guy. Like Martinelli, I think he needs a little more. He's got to figure it out. I have confidence.
Bunch of idiots, man.
What's that?
So I remember when Barcelona were glazing for him. Bunch of idiots.
Martinelli.
Yeah.
The 15-goal season. Yeah, I think most educated fans knew it was a one-off.
We did the same thing with Willian when he had that good season with Chelsea. I think it was 16-17 season.
Oh yeah, the one that Arsenal bid on, and we got fucked over.
We went for him. Then the next summer after that, we went for Malcolm. Thank God.
Another story, kind of to an extent.
Yeah, we made profit on him. Definitely profit.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very.
I would have back then. Malcolm was kind of like what's a good comparison? Yeah, like the Brazilian Mbumo in Liga, pretty much. That's how he was for Bordeaux. Had a really good season. We paid I think 40 when Chelsea won at 60 for Willian.
Yeah. Villa hosting Everton.
This is the solid dice remontada, man. This is where it's gonna start.
I don't know. I will say
cheeky 1-1 draw.
After losing that game, like losing, up 2-0, going to the 90th minute and losing, there got to be some type of fire, like for the very next game. Like I think this could be like a draw. I don't know if Everton will win.
Like back knows what's up. I'm telling you.
I feel like this could be a trap game for Villa. Like
Juan.
I think I'm gonna say draw for this game.
Yes, sir.
Man,
I'm gonna take Villa just because I think it's a safe pick.
Boring.
I'm telling you, man, you losing a game like that is like either they lose like 4-0 or there's like a 1-1 draw.
I just think Everton's a bad team. I think Sean Dyche is a good manager that gets the most out of his men, but I don't think he has a good team to coach.
Is he fired if they lose this match, or is it?
No, it's Villa. It's Villa. And plus, who are you going to get that turns this team around better than Sean Dyche?
I mean,
Big Sam.
No one.
Fuck it.
No one, but
Big Sam, is he still kicking?
I don't know, bro. Every now and then his ink is thrown around to like these sort of bottom tier teams. So just thought I'd throw it out there. I don't know. I think Sean Dyche probably keeps his role no matter what, just because I don't even know if anyone wants to be at Goodison Park. You know what I mean? Like
I think they were saying Moyes.
Oh, actually, you know what? That's actually not David Moyes, bro. Maybe he comes back. It's like the romantic pick,
Come on now. I take Sean Dyche every day.
Goodison Park got the vibes again, bro. I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, if Dyche does get sacked, Moyes wouldn't be a bad option.
Yeah,
I think he's like we talked about United having, they sacked Ten Hag, who's going to come in. No one. At least Everton, there is kind of someone there that they can maybe say, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. And then United should hire Sean Dyche, bro.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And then finally, Wolves hosting Newcastle at Molineux.
I'm thinking draw for this one as well. Molineux is always a tough stadium. Newcastle haven't been that great. Although I know that pretty well rested
in some of these games, even against Spurs.
I feel like I'm going to say Wolves going to win this game. I think they're looking for a win, and remember this is like they have this really tough schedule, and like right now Newcastle, they beat Spurs, but like they still haven't really been dominant great. So and especially and on on the road they haven't been great at all. So this could be a sneaky first win for Wolves. Like this is a game where Wolves surprises teams.
Yeah. They should. I've been waiting for Wolves to get a dub at some point. Gary O'Neill needs to be, I don't know, very, very motivated for this game. They need at some point. You can't go the first 2 months and not win. Like you need to get some kind of point somewhere.
Moyes for the Wolves job.
That's also not a bad shout. Surprisingly, although I don't know how much of a level up he would be to Gary O'Neill.
I mean, if any of these lower teams sack their managers, either Moyes or Big Sam. I mean, who else?
Yeah. There ain't too many options out there.
Graham Potter, where did he end up going?
Bro, he's just chilling. He's just waiting for the
He's
England
chilling.
job. I feel like.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe,
think-
but
I don't-
he's also a name
Potter
that I
would
would
not
look
take
at.
the job. I think he wants like a medium table job, like a Bournemouth, a Fulham, a Villa. That's what he kind of wants. That's kind of his level. That's what he feels like, anyways, based on what I've
Yeah.
seen of him rejecting jobs over the past year.
Fair
So.
enough. I'm gonna say draw on this one, but
Southgate's available as well. You know, so
that's
he
true,
might get a
actually.
job. Yeah.
That's true. All right, that is it, man. That is it. Those are our picks for game week 4. If you disagree with any of us, man, or if you agree, let us know in the comments down below. I think the North London Derby is going to have the spiciest takes and picks all the way around. Had a lot of conversations, obviously, around the Arsenal injury crisis, around Son may or may not being the best finisher in Premier League era. That went around a lot in the timeline this week as well. But either way, let us know what you think down below. But for everybody here at Yanks of the Round Table, my name's Jose. That's Barca Boy. That's Max. We'll catch you guys next time.